What's your favorite scary movie?
Showgirls? Hookshot!
Hookshot! You motherfucker.
That.
Ugh.
Oh, that hit my throat wrong.
That's what she said.
Well, hello, internet psycho killers. It's Trailer Trash, the show where we drink a lot of alcohol and
Talk trailers.
today we are once again in season 2. That's not how we want to say it. Here we go. We're back for season 2.
Season 2.
And we are in the throes of the Halloween season. The October.
October is here, which means horror movies are in season. We're going to start things off with Psycho.
And then we're going to move on to The Shining.
And then we're going to finish up with Scream.
Scram, as they say on the streets.
As no one says anywhere.
Before we get into these trailers, please make sure you're on the same page as us and watch the links to the full trailers in the description below. So this way we're all on the same page and we make points and you understand the points that we're making and we're all, together.
We're all keeping it together, keeping it real.
K-I-T. Keep it together, keep it together, keep it together.
Keep it together, keep it together, keep it together.
Without further ado, why don't we get to it?
Yes.
As is customary.
To evil.
Ooh, the fabulous Mr. Alfred Hitchcock. He's going to escort us on what?
Ooh, he's escorting us.
A tour of the location of his new motion picture,
Oh,
Psycho.
how novel.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Here we have a quiet little motel. It has now become known as the scene of the crime.
Whoa. Scene of
Ooh.
a crime.
The most dire, horrible events took place.
Ooh, tell me more, Alfred Hitchcock.
Let's go inside.
This music is so chipper.
So chipper.
I think some of her clothes are still in this wardrobe.
Some of her clothes, you say.
Well, are they?
He seems pretty horrified by it. And yet the music kicks in. He's just walking around a fucking house. That's all this trailer is.
It's like House Hunters.
Bathroom. This picture has great significance
Uh-huh. Go on.
because
Uh-huh.
let's go along to cabin number
Come
one.
on, just tell me.
The bathroom.
Ooh, another bathroom.
The murderer, you see, crept in here. Very slowly, of course, the shower was on, there was no sound.
Except for the shower.
And,
What a great transition
Yeah.
to the only footage in the actual film itself.
Actually, we'll get to that.
Oh.
So here on Trailer Trash, one of the fun things that we like to do is not only watch trailers that everyone's seen before, but also pull out some trailers that are unique, and Psycho is one of those trailers. Now, before we get into the minutia of why the Psycho trailer is so interesting and so special and unique, we have to travel through time on the spaceship of imagination, all the way back to the 19-teens. Now, in this time, there was a company called the National Screen Service. They made all the trailers for all of Hollywood for about 30 or 40 years. Now, the NSS had a template for how they made trailers, and there were 4 aspects of that template. The first was text. When they started, every film was a silent film, so the only way to get information across to the audience was through text. Suspense! Romance!
Yes.
A tale as old as time! So, typography, text. The second was narration. Anything that the text couldn't fill in, a narrator would come in and explain. Big music to sell the dramatics, and then, of course, a little bit of montage editing.
This is the story you've heard about, talked about. The spine-tingling, blood-chilling story that stuns your emotions. Frankenstein.
Enter Alfred Hitchcock with the trailer for Psycho, where instead of your typical trailer, you've got the actual filmmaker of the movie just walking you through the set. And without showing any clips from the movie, he almost tells you what's going to happen, but then decides like, nah, it's too
horrible to describe.
He kind of telegraphs things.
Yeah.
But without showing clips of the film, it's just a guy talking to you about it. And it doesn't really feel like it's giving anything away. So very Hitchcockian in how, like, it's kind of funny because it's got that frilly,
Yep.
music. And it's like this is for a movie about a guy who murders people
Who come to his motel.
Of course, the victim, or should I say victims, hadn't any conception as to the type of people they would be confronted with in this house.
At the very end of the trailer, when he peels back the curtain, much like the film, in the trailer, when that happens, it's the same shot. However, because Janet Leigh was not available to shoot this trailer, they got a different actress in a Janet Leigh wig to do that shot. And the only reason why they got away with it is because within a few frames, the title card covers her face, and you can't tell that it's not Janet Leigh. And for decades, no one knew.
You can say that the title gave Hitchcock a little leeway.
Very funny, very funny.
4 out of 10.
I'll tell you, there's a very important clue was found here.
It's a very bizarre trailer in the best way possible. I think it's very effective.
If you haven't seen Psycho, what are you doing, man? Go watch Psycho. Come on.
And watch Gus Van Sant 'cause it's in color. All right, got some closing credits coming in.
Jack
Got a
Nicholson.
little TikTok
Love that
music.
guy. Stephen King's masterpiece. Modern horror.
His best-selling masterpiece.
I'm not happy with the sound.
Do you think Kubrick made this film?
I think he did.
Okay, cool,
His
me
name's
too.
there 3 times.
I think it has something to do with it.
Oh,
There's the blood. Here we go.
fuck.
Here we go.
No, man.
God,
Goose.
what a shot. This is very unsettling music.
Very. I'm not pleased.
I'm pleased, but I'm not settled.
Ugh. What a shot.
Oof, yeah, this is a wild trailer. You get literally just a shot with some credits.
The what and the who.
The what and the who. You got Nicholson, you got Duvall, you got Kubrick, an
Stephen
elevator
King.
full of blood.
Kevin King.
Kevin Sting.
Kevin Sting.
I don't think any other film could get away with this kind of trailer. I mean, I can't think of a trailer like this to begin with.
No.
Let alone another film that could pull off something as audacious as this trailer.
I guess you have some teaser trailers now where it'll be like a single shot, and at the very end of the shot there'll be some detail where you're like, oh shit! Like the Ghostbusters 3 teaser trailer from the year
Right.
before was just this shot moving into a barn, and you're like, what the hell are we watching? And then there's a gust of wind, and it reveals that the Ecto-1 is underneath it, and you're like, oh my god, it's Ghostbusters!
Oh my god, another one! They're trying it again!
Probably gonna ruin my childhood again!
Yeah, so that's essentially what the Shine teaser is like, minus the ruined childhoods.
Exactly.
It's more of a mental ruination than an emotional one.
Well, I think what's interesting about this, because we're talking about The Shining here in the 70s, and just a little bit ago,
Depending on my edit.
we talked, depending on the edit, we talked about Alfred Hitchcock and Psycho in the 1960s, sort of playing with the form of trailers. The other major filmmaker in the 60s to do that was Stanley Kubrick with Dr. Strangelove. Now here we are with The Shining, and Kubrick once again is being like, fuck all that shit, this is what I'm doing.
He could have given a tour of the Overlook
Exactly.
and said, this is where the man said, give me the bat. Give me the bat, Wendy.
Visually, this trailer is nothing. It's just a static shot of elevators until they open up and blood pours out. However,
You can't get it by me. You can't get it by me.
the one thing that is working overboard in this trailer is the music.
Oh.
And I think that's one of the things that's true of The Shining. It gives you very banal visuals, but the music is so disturbing in a way that helps the visuals become much more sinister than they seem on the surface.
This is obviously a pretty cool trailer.
Indeed.
And as it turns out, I have just the right guy
Oh, you do?
to bring onto the show.
Well.
He is I would say the definitive voice of The Shining in the year of our Lord 2020.
This,
He is an avid collector of The Shining on every possible version of physical media imaginable. He's also an editor like us.
He is also a very clever, very funny writer, and he wrote a script with me and with Dave called The Blood Grinder, based on The Blood Grinder, which is a movie that we all made about a decade or so ago.
Nick Schwartz, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show!
Thanks, guys. That was so lovely. I'm never going to forget it.
We hope not. Before we begin, though, we have to, as is customary, this is in fact
Oh yes, of course.
Trailer Trash. So what, Nicholas, are you imbibing upon today?
Yeah, what are you tossing back?
Jefferson's Bourbon.
Oh, all right,
Wow.
very good. These are spooky drinks from our beloved and soon to be closed. By the time you see this, it will be closed, sadly.
God damn
Queen's
it.
Comfort. Yeah, Queen's Comfort's closing, Nick. Yeah, on Sunday. How horrible is that shit?
Horrible. I am drinking the Purple Urkel.
And this is the zombie cocktail. So, Nick, I know we're all editors here. Now, this trailer has exactly 0 edits in it. How does that make you feel as an editor? And please preface this with... As an editor.
As an editor, I have to imagine it was dictated by Kubrick, and he said, "This is the shot. I don't want to see a single." I mean, like, he had at that point in his career probably enough clout to be like, "Hey, Warner Brothers, this is what you're fucking doing. Put my name in there 3 times, please." If this trailer were released today, this would absolutely be called a teaser. But this was the theatrical trailer for The Shining. This was it.
That's awesome.
Which is
It's
bold.
Yeah, it is
It's
bold. It's
real
fucking
bold.
bold as hell. Because you don't even see Jack Nicholson, who was at that time a megastar.
Yep.
I'm not sure where Shelley Duvall placed on the list of like superstars at the
was
time.
in
She
movies.
was in movies though. She was known.
Some movies, yeah.
But,
She was
like,
in this
you know,
movie.
She was. Can confirm.
Let's talk about the shot, maybe the most iconic shot of the movie. However, when this came out, nice, no one knew this shot was in the film, and it's one of the many things that's changed from the novel. So if you were in a theater and you saw this, it's actually kind of spoiling one of the biggest moments of the film.
Nick, do you know what is the frame rate of this shot that we are witnessing?
See, this is a great question because both of the accounts that I was reading today mentioned that he filmed with at least 3 cameras, and each one was a different focal length and a different frame rate. So
Interesting.
I don't know which one this was.
So, Nick, is that the long and short of way of saying that you are not as big of a Shining fan as you pretend to be?
Wow.
That's why I came on your show tonight. I wanted to really just get that out there that I'm a fraud. Sorry, guys.
I'm going to say 60 fips.
I have to say 62. I don't think it's 120. It seems too fast for 120. Then again, I've never seen water pour out of an elevator before.
I was going to say, I think 120 is where it's at. We can take this into Premiere and speed it up and see what it looks like normal motion.
Oh, you should do that. That would be amazing.
Would you think that you're going to take it into Premiere and right-click on the clip and hit modify or interpret footage?
I'm actually gonna hit Command J and then
Command
and
J?
then change the speed percentage to a.
Whoa!
I'm gonna start with 200 to see if it's 48.
You're not going to hit modify
And then,
clip and then interpret footage as?
No, it's a little too complicated for my liking. I'm gonna do it a little differently.
It's too many extra steps, bro!
You know, I'm a Command J guy. Editing humor. It's not very funny.
This trailer,
Oh my god, you have physical prints?
this trailer.
Oh my God! You got
He
the
has
actual.
actual prints. This guy knows more about The Shining than anyone who's ever shined.
This copy of the trailer has the TV spot attached to it. And if you watch the TV spot, it is more of a traditional trailer. So it uses takes from the film. However, what they actually use, and I think what was common practice then, it still is to some degree, if you're cutting a trailer before the film comes out, you might be using dailies instead of the final footage. So the TV spot is made up entirely of alternate takes of very, very, very famous shots from the film.
No
So
shit.
check out the TV spot.
We will link to it.
In the comments.
Final thoughts, final words, final shines.
You know what? I'd love to have you guys on this show again sometime.
Thank you.
Did you guys notice that at like 46 frames into the trailer, Stanley Kubrick says that he faked the moon landing?
I did notice that. I did. It's subtle,
Crazy.
but it's there.
Hello,
Hello.
Hey, Drew.
who is this?
You tell me your name, I'll tell you mine.
Someone is playing a deadly game.
A deadly game.
Someone who's seen one too many
This is the guy.
scary movies.
This is the guy.
This is the guy.
Never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, say, I'll be right back. Because you won't be back.
Get another beer, you want one?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back!
Not scared, are you?
Scream.
Scram.
Scream.
Scream?
Scream.
It's not pronounced scram?
It's never been pronounced Scream.
Oh, I thought it was pronounced scram.
Well, you can't read it, so.
I can't read it right.
I would say Scream is one of the best horror films of all time. Hands down.
Hands down.
I think Scream, in some ways, killed the horror film, or at least the slasher film. And I think the trailer is not that great.
To which I would say, unlike Cabin in the Woods, which certainly put the nail in the coffin of Cabin in the Woods movies, Scream, on the other hand, did skewer the slasher genre. However, it revitalized the slasher genre for about a decade. There are examples of good movies. I Know What You Did Last Summer, Halloween H2O. Then there's examples of bad movies, Valentine, Urban Legends.
I Know You Did Last Summer.
Fuck you. I Know What You Did Last Summer is great. There were several of them that had the same poster.
It was a paint by numbers,
After Scream, for sure.
like 5 years or so.
You making popcorn?
Well, I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Really?
I do wonder if there is something to be said about how kind of basic this is as a trailer, you know? It's like, it's the stock movie trailer guy.
Someone is playing a deadly game.
This is a parody of horror films. I don't think this trailer really sells how intelligent this movie is.
Yes.
You get the sense that this is just a slasher film. What you don't know is that it is like one of the definitive slasher films of all time.
I'm going to disagree a little bit with Dave here in that the trailer is somewhat cognizant of the nature of the film itself. Because
Somewhat.
you do get those lines where Sidney Prescott is on the phone talking with Ghostface Killer, and she's like, that's his name, isn't it?
Well, Ghostface. But Ghostface Killer's from the Wu-Tang Clan.
Okay, well, I'm going to call him Ghostface Killer. She's on the phone with Ghostface Killer, and she's like, yeah, you know, I don't watch scary movies because it's stupid, because some dumb, big-breasted blonde is going to, like, answer the door. Then she's going to run upstairs when she should be running outside. And the trailer knows well enough to show you those exact visuals that she's describing as her, as the character, is making all those mistakes.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a scary movie.
The rules that they talk about in Scream are unwritten rules. Nobody had called them out before Scream.
Yeah.
Don't answer the
This is
phone,
the first
don't have
time.
sex. These are things that like filmmakers and writers knew were essentially the cornerstones of the slasher
The
genre.
sins.
But nobody had really called it out within the context of a film. So it is refreshing to see that be the thing that this movie's about, and then still you've got characters who are falling victim to those same cliches.
Everybody's a suspect!
Scream. Okay, trailer. Great fucking movie.
Great fucking masterpiece.
Masterpiece
film.
Wes Craven's. I do think Scream might be his best film. Nightmare's good. And Nightmare, of course, spawned a franchise that's indelible. But
this is what I was saying. It's hard for me between New Nightmare and Scream.
I do think New Nightmare is the
both-
best Nightmare film.
There's something more polished and beautiful about Scream.
This is a director who has honed his skills over like 30
And also
years.
has hit these cliches.
He
He made the cliches.
He's the first word in suspense, or the first name in suspense, and now he's the last word in fear, according to this trailer. And I think that is actually kind of true, because I think he did, in some ways, put the nail in the slasher genre.
He built the coffin. He put the nail in.
He built the perfect. Well done. Well, hey, I'll cheers to that. Well done. Cheers. A+. Two evil.
Two evil.
Wes Craven.
Scream.
Well,
Well,
hey, Halloween.
That's the first one.
First new episode, season 2. As usual, please leave in the comments any recommendations for horror movie trailers or regular trailers that you want us to talk about. Hit that subscribe button right there at the bottom.
We got more content coming this season, to be honest.
So much content.
We got binges, we got
Super-sized
chasers, we
content.
got nightcaps, we got clips.
Clips.
We got it all, baby!
We got it all.
So thank you for joining us.
Indeed.
We'll see you again right before Halloween for the next episode, where we have more horror films on deck. But until then... Oh, you have,
as
do
usual.
you have more?
No, that's it.
Oh, well then...
Till then.
Till then...
Two evil.
Two evil.